Hey, here's part 2 of the thyroid series. I'm going to go over the causes, some of the big causes that are responsible for the thyroid problems that people are more prevalent today and are within your control to fix. Number 1, severe physical stress. And what I mean by that is any kind of extreme exercise. Like I said in the last video, I was doing CrossFit 6 times a week, which is a no-no. I see girls at the gym on cardio machines. They'll hop around for an hour at a time, 2 hours at a time. All that does, yes, you'll lose weight at first. However, it comes to a point your adrenal glands just cannot keep up. They pump out a ton of cortisol, and what you'll see is like someone will be thin up top, thin in their legs, and they'll have this big tire of flub around their midsection. That's because the cortisol is hanging on to everything. So that's a no-no. Any kind of other physical stress, like a major surgery, childbirth, any kind of big emotional stress that takes a physical toll on you, like death in the family, kids leaving home, divorce, that kind of thing, that can really take a toll on your body too and cause you to have thyroid problems and cause everything to be suppressed. Kind of what goes with the extreme dieting or extreme exercise is extreme dieting. So what I mean by that, like I said, I was doing paleo. Anytime you eliminate a whole macronutrient like carbs, no, stop it. It's just a bad idea. Your body needs all these macronutrients for a reason. Or like I used to do, the extreme cardio, it stopped working, so I'm going to drop my calories. No. That doesn't work either, because then your body really holds on to everything because it thinks that you're going into starvation mode. It's just a adrenaline cortisol nightmare for your body, and it really causes, especially for women, I think it's like a double-edged sword. You want to lose weight, so you think that you're doing this and this is going to get it when it's actually making it worse. Kind of what goes along with extreme dieting is poor diet, and what I mean by that is if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, a glass of wine is once in a while, and by once in a while I mean like maybe a month, once a month, twice a month tops. I know that's not probably a popular opinion, especially now, but the alcohol just really takes a toll on your body. It causes a lot of water retention and inflammation. It can, if it's every day or a couple times a week, you can really just your body can't keep up, especially the older you get. Dairy, and I'm not here to debate, vegan or plant-based or whatever. Just the dairy itself causes a lot of inflammation, causes a mucus and phlegm. It's acidic, so your body has to work to counteract that. It can cause a lot of problems with your thyroid, the reactions to it. So cutting out dairy really will help your thyroid. Soda. If you're drinking soda every day, you're just lighting your thyroid on, on fire to die. It's so acidic, and it doesn't matter if it's diet or regular. It's not necessarily about the sugar. It's more about the acidity. So it's very acidic, so your body has to work very hard to counteract that and bring it back to homeostasis and alkaline situation. So it pulls nutrients from wherever it needs to counteract that. Now, and that's an 8-ounce soda, and honestly, who in America drinks an 8-ounce anything? So that can be very detrimental to your thyroid. And then the processed fake food, and what I mean by that is like chips, cookies, crackers, things that are like in the middle aisles at the grocery store that have expiration dates but could last till the end of time. So like, Oreos and stuff like that. They're completely devoid of nutrients. again, your body has to work really hard just to counteract the reaction. And if you're someone who's drinking soda and eating crap all day long, like, your body's just like, what are you doing to me? Another big thing is pesticides. So the pesticides that can be sprayed on conventional food, if you can buy organic, great. There's ones you definitely want to, if you're eating the flesh of the fruit or vegetable, you definitely want to get organic. Pesticides, like if you're getting your lawn treated with ChemLawn or whatever company, that kind of chemicals, like, obviously you're not licking your grass, but if you have a pet, they're rolling around in it, they're bringing it in the house, or just if you walk through it and you bring it in back into your house, it's on your clothes, you will kind of like ingest it the same way you ingest secondhand smoke. So, and DDT is just, I mean, there's a reason why there's like a skull and crossbones on it. It's just really, really bad for the environment, for humans, for pets, everybody, insects. So pesticides, if you can avoid them, that should be, yes, avoid them. Pharmaceuticals, any kind of steroids are a big one. Antibiotics, narcotics, that kind of thing. If you're on them all the time, your liver just gets overloaded, then your adrenals can't keep up, and then obviously your thyroid can't keep up either. Now, I'm not saying go cold turkey off all your meds. Depending on what you're on and what you're on it for, you need to titrate down over a period of time, and period of time is a month or 2 or 3, whatever it takes. You need to decide for yourself what you're comfortable with. If you feel like maybe you want to work towards that, that's something you need to discuss with your doctor. I am not here to give you medical advice as far as prescriptions. You need to decide that you need to talk with your doctor and devise a plan. End of PSA there. Another thing, like fluoride, aluminum, the things that are in products that you either slather on your body or put in your mouth, like toothpaste, deodorant, lotion, soaps, shampoo, body wash, all of it all adds up. So, you're putting deodorant on and it's just basically an aluminum stick. The antiperspirant part of it is where the aluminum comes in, because that's how they get you to stop sweating, and sweating is a natural human process to rid your body of toxins. So by itself, your shampoo probably won't kill you or kill your thyroid. But all of this stuff, especially girls, we tend to use way more products than guys. They all add up, and it's a toxic load that your body, after a while, just can't keep up. And if you're doing all the other things that I mentioned and using like Secret and Dove and all these things, your body just can't keep up. That's as simple as that. So all of these kind of causes provide like a perfect environment for the Epstein-Barr virus to feed off of. The Epstein-Barr virus is responsible for causing your thyroid problems. It's causing the havoc. The liver, the adrenal glands, the thyroid, they all kind of like work together, and this Epstein-Barr virus will just go through your body and do whatever it has to. And that's, the poor diet, the extreme exercise, the excess cortisol and adrenaline are all food for it to feed off of, and it just kind of like, get ya. So that's something that, like, I will reveal where I get all this information probably in the next video, but when I found that out, I was like, oh, at least there's an answer, and I'm not, it's not necessarily, oh, genetic or this or that. There are causes, there's a reason, and it kind of like all put it together for me. So I was like, oh, hallelujah. So another thing that people like, well, oh, well, I have Hashimoto's. That doesn't mean anything, really. Hashimoto is the guy who first developed the test that, like, when you go to the doctor, they're feeling for an inflamed thyroid or nodules. That's all it is. You still have a thyroid problem. It's no different than if you weren't labeled with Hashimoto's. It's just kind of like a designer name for hypothyroidism. thyroidism, and you treat it the same. You got it the same way that someone with just hypothyroidism got it. Don't get hung up on, oh, I have this or I have that. It's all the same. It's treated the same. So I just wanted to say that about Hashimoto's, that it's not really this different thing. It's treated the same. The tests that I mentioned in the last video, you want to get, if you're going to your doctor, TSH, T3, T4, ferritin, TIBC, total iron binding capacity. So what typically that's called is like a basic thyroid panel. Depending on the lab, it could be called a comprehensive thyroid panel. If you don't want to go through your doctor for whatever reason, insurance or your deductible is crazy like ours is, there is a place or a website you can go to called mymedlab.com. I have used it when I didn't want to go through my doctor because I didn't want to go through the song and dance of why I'm here. So what you can do, there's a search bubble, search for basic thyroid panel. It's $135 for the TSH, T3, T4. That will give you, and then you go to a LabCorp, they draw the blood and send it off and send you the results. You don't need to see a doctor. It's pretty simple. Like I said, I've done it. You can also get your iron labs there. Now, they have tons and tons of tests you can get, so this is why I'm saying, like, in the search bubble, search for basic thyroid panel. For the iron, you want iron labs, and there's one that's a ferritin and TIBC combination for $99. So for $235, you can get your thyroid and your iron. Now, it's not a CBC. You can get that as well if you want, but I was just trying to, like, search a basic starting point without getting, $600 later. I got tested when I first figured out that I had thyroid problems. I had to get retested because they didn't do the right tests and it wasn't giving me enough information. I got tested through MyMedLab probably 2 to 3 years ago. It's a good base point to start at, and it's a good kind of like after a year or so has passed, to see where you're at, and like kind of like a barometer of like if what you're doing is effective. But what is more kind of like I go off of is how I feel and symptoms. So yes, the lab tests are useful and informative, but I don't base my life off of the numbers. I go more off of how I feel, and I've learned to recognize the symptoms, and when something starts to go wrong, I pick it up right away. So I'm not running to the lab every other month for $235 worth of tests. It's just not, it's not practical, and it's really not necessary. But at least you can kind of get where you're at and how you're doing. And I'll go more over like symptoms of feeling good since I've gone through all the symptoms of feeling bad in the next video. But if you, and why is this so important with the thyroid? If you leave it untreated for a long period of time, it can lead to PCOS, so polycystic ovarian syndrome, fibromyalgia, eczema, and I've seen pictures of small children, and sometimes the thyroid progresses so much faster in one person than another. So there is no rhyme or reason other than if you can backtrack it to their toxic environment or the toxic load, where these kids are covered head to toe with eczema, and it just looks so painful, like equivalent to like having poison ivy all over your body. It just looks excruciating, and it's heartbreaking for a parent to see that, and like, what do I do? Give them steroids? No, that's absolutely the wrong thing to do. But any kind of like autoimmune disorder that people get kind of like hung up on, that this is, oh, I have this autoimmune disorder. No, you don't. It's not necessarily an autoimmune disorder. It's a result of time, the Epstein-Barr virus taking your thyroid out, and then these things kind of come after that. So it can progress into some pretty serious situations if it's left untreated. And all I'm trying to do here is give you the information that you can make your choices and decisions of what you want to do and how you want to do it. And this is what I did, and I'm just trying to like share the wealth of knowledge that's taken me like 6.5 years to learn. And you know, it hasn't always been smooth sailing, but I've hit some bumps, but that's gonna happen. So without going too far off the trail, I hope this was informative. If you have any questions, post them and I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll see you on the next one, where I discuss more of what I do and what I take and how it works. So I'll see you next time.